I'm sorry to break it to you worldly Christians out there. Brackets. Not sorry, might I add. If you think for 1 minute that God the Father himself was all about unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, come as you are, it doesn't matter how you live, what else? That your sins are forgiven even though you choose to live in sin, and all of these other things. If you think for 1 minute that this is what God chose you for, you are sadly mistaken. And each and every one of you, oh man, you're in for one rude awakening, I'm telling you now. According to the King James Bible, God was also this wrathful, chastising, rebuking, ass whooping God. He wasn't just this unconditionally loving, unconditionally forgiving. Oh, there. I see that you're still living like a degenerative moron, but it's okay, I forgive you. So that you can keep on, displaying these characteristics and personas and not learn and grow from your mistakes. If you think for 1 minute that that's the God that I serve, you're in for one rude awakening, I am telling you now. One rude awakening. Oh, you best believe you are. When are you worldly Christians, you lukewarmers, going to start preaching the real gospel truth, other than this sugar-coated, touchy-feely, there, God's this rewarding, unconditionally loving, unconditionally forgiving, blue-pilled, soy boy for a God? When are you going to cast that aside into the fiery depths of hell where it belongs and start preaching the real gospel word? The gospel word that actually corrects bad behaviour, rebukes, chastises, threatens people with an ass whooping, just like any father would to their biological offspring that stepped out of line. When people are going to start preaching the real word of God? If you think for 1 minute that God was this lovey-dovey, pally, unconditionally loving, like I said, unconditionally forgiving, accepting, come as you are type of God, I am telling you now, you haven't even done a hard day's labour to find out just exactly who God the Father really is. And trust me, you are in for one rude awakening when he begins to show you by crushing each and every one of your souls as a friendly reminder that you are being deceived. And this is why I don't follow man-made religion, nor do I follow the world's voice on what they believe Christianity is. They believe, from their warped perception, that God the Father is this soft-ass, soy boy, blue-pilled pussy for a God. Think about it. Unconditionally forgiving, unconditionally loving, come as you are, extremely welcoming, extremely giving, nurturing, healing. What are all these characteristics linked to? Someone tell me. Are they linked to masculinity, or are they linked to femininity? Because I can guarantee any of you watching this video now, they are linked to femininity even. Think about it. Use your common sense, folks. After a hard, stressful day, you go home, you go to your wife, you hug it out because you're happy to see her, and you're elevated to see her, as much as she is for you, after a hard day, that is. And she knows almost instantly that you're under a lot of stress, right? And she begins to offload, her general instincts, even as a wife, i.e., welcoming, acceptance, nurturing, although not really for her husband, if that makes sense. Rather, the point I'm trying to make here is that this world are being badly deceived into thinking that Christianity, like I said, is this come as you are, God doesn't reject anyone nor abandon anyone, no one goes to hell, and all of this nonsense. You're in for one rude awakening. And this is why, like I said, I virtually have very little, if not next to no one, within my life and my circle. Because people, like I said, are so badly deceived that it's not even remotely funny. Sure, I have 4, 6, 8, no more than 12 within my life and my circle that so happen to understand me for who I really am, and not for who I pretend to be like the rest of the world. And see, this is why I don't follow the fake nice and the fake good woke movement like everybody else. Because it's all a part of the devil's plan. Even those that act the most nicest and the most good to your face, aren't always actually, in fact, who they claim to be. They have intention. They have motive. They're just putting on this act, as you will, of being fake nice and fake good to actually conceal their bad deeds, their unfruitful works. And this is why, like I said, I don't follow the narrative that the vast majority of you lukewarmers and you worldly cult leaders follow. As a matter of fact, this is why I'm thankful I was taken out of all of that. You people, I'm telling you now, you need to start going with inside of your own heart and your own mind in order to study the truth for what it really is. And if you think, like I said, that the truth involves this blue-pilled, soy boy, pussy for a god, oh, you just keep on provoking, God himself. You keep on provoking. You keep on living like reprobates and degenerates, trying to wear these fake nice and these fake good spiritual masks to actually conceal what you're doing. You try doing all of this, and you watch your past come catching up to you, beginning to weigh in, sitting upon your shoulders, like the cross in weight itself that Jesus had to carry 2,000 years ago before his very crucifixion. And then you're going to know just exactly that God is not messing. And he isn't this blue-pilled, soft-ass vagina for a man, like the world try to portray him out to be. And this is why, like I said, I get frustrated. I get extremely frustrated as well as wrath, with these type of people. Oh, it's okay. God is unconditionally forgiving. He's very welcoming. He's very accepting. Oh, yeah. No. Guess again. Because I think you'll find that on Judgment Day, when God calls your name forward to give an account of your so-called Christian lives that you claim to be following, he's going to reveal everything. And then he's going to say, "Depart from me, for I never knew you. Depart from me, those that work in iniquity, for I never knew you. And why do you think that is? It's because you rejected the real truth of God the Father and His Son Jesus Christ, as well as the gospel word. The world teaches unconditional love. It teaches welcoming even. It teaches come as you are. It also teaches people to continue to live within degeneracy and yet still have a relationship with God. It also teaches all of the ear-tickling messages that people want to hear, but it does not give them the truth. What is the truth? I've already told you people out there what the truth is. The truth is also not very welcoming and comfortable for many to hear. It is for me. Start preaching the real gospel word and quit with this blue-pilled, soft-ass, pussy nonsense. Because to put it frankly, it really grinds my gears. It not only grinds my gears, but it provokes me onto wrath. Because you are denying the real gospel truth. People want fruits. Oh yeah, you best believe. They want fruits, right? They want blessings. They want continuous gifts. And all of these other beautiful things, which we all currently want, right? But yet, they're not even teaching the real gospel word, for a start. Because they live like reprobates, for one. They live like degenerates, for another. Although they're more or less the same word, if you ask me. But that's beside the point. The point I'm trying to make here is people need to start preaching the real gospel word and not sugarcoat the manuscript for what it is, for what it really is even. I can share some biblical passages now that will show you just exactly who God really is. Because according to my manuscript within the gospel, He isn't how the world try to portray Him out to be. He's a very jealous, wrathful, loving God. And He was also known to chastise. He was known to rebuke as well as beat people's asses that stepped out of line. Once again, man or woman. And this is why I stopped going to churches as well, you know, if you ask me, because a lot of the churches, they just cherry pick the gospel, man. They not only cherry pick the gospel, they just spout all of this ear-tickling messaging, you know. They don't even preach the real word. Sure, I've heard some sermons preach about hell, but that's not enough. As a real prophet, as a real servant, I want Christians to start following the real gospel word. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this lukewarm Christianity that people follow, if you dig a little deeper, it also raises self-entitlement within people. Because you are coddling children that disrespect and disgrace their parents. You are coddling that behaviour with rewards, blessings, gifts, when as a matter of fact you should be beating the living degeneracy out of that said child with the belt and buckle. Assuming, of course, you've already given them a friendly warning. That warning being that they have a choice, they have free will, they can continue to go down the path that they're going down and receive a serious good hiding with the belt and buckle, or they can stop what they're doing immediately and start getting right with God. And if you think for 1 minute that I'm going to raise my kids to be a bunch of blue-pilled pussies like the rest of, these failed parents of today's society, I'm telling you now, you don't even know me. None of you do. Because if, God forbid, my son ever stepped out of line and disrespected and disgraced me along with his mother, you best believe, after giving him that warning, if he chose to continue going down that path, I would beat his ass with my belt and buckle. You best believe I would. If you think for 1 minute I'm going to coddle his ass and reward him for his degeneracy, you're out of your minds, mate. And the presence of the Lord does not reside within you. Right. I've said what I've had to say. I've had my rant. It's entirely up to people at the end of the day to seek the real truth and the real meaning of God. You can deny this video if you like. I'm not even forcing any of you to watch it. But like I said, don't come crawling back, crying for my help when reality hits and God so happens to crush each and every one of your souls as a part of the refinement process into creating the men and the women that you were actually created to be by default, according to the biblical manuscript. I'm not the voice of the world. It's a wrap.